and your team. I thank God for your life every day. Sir Jackson. Echo is repping from Assisi. Chief Nuruddin. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. All the way from Equiapim Rural Bank in Memphis. Martin Tay. Shem mixing your boy. And Asantua. Manuel Ayambila, I see you. Ado, Equiapim. Providence is in a Wukugwa. Laurentia is in Nungwa. Lawyer Martin Pebu. Dr. Cynthia Tego. Ariel Entry. Saberima Ansah Sasreku Manfe. Adom kumenin kona hene Nana Ansah Kwao IV the third akwamu hene Charles Inkum is in Kaswa. Nana Equiabua Hima Kwanyako Deshia Noche ni note owo Su the Sena blower himself, to all the citizens of Sampa, the Sena blower himself, Nana Sambudia, Nana Yao Sambudia. And my bosses say playtime is over, and we shall start the way we start. Kojia Hine, Apredi Hine, tuned in, and listening rapidly. Kwesi Sasreku Apra from Kwabenya. Kwesi, good evening to you. Folks, we start the way we start. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. And you know, I'll say that again. Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao IV, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu, Edumasa, the only republic within the republic. And I say thank God it's Monday. Another wonderful opportunity for us to meet up, gather around, sit, as it has been done in the old. We tell stories, we share ideas, we agree, we disagree, but we remain on the same side, just as Africans. Just as Africans. Welcome to the ritual I call That's My Opinion, only on Joy 99.7 FM, every Monday at this time. And our topic, folks, Paul ntƐm. Paul ntɛm. Let us all gather and make truth good. Folks, this is one show. This is a show that we probably should do more episodes, as there are so many dynamics to it. Paul ntɛm. It's loaded with history, full of questions, and it challenges the status quo. The story of Burkina Faso and Ibrahim Traoré. Paul ntɛm. The founding fathers of modern Africa foresaw the need to be truly independent, politically and economically. So after the struggle for independence, indeed, Kwame Nkrumah knew that after the era of colonization, after you've driven these guys away, they were going to come back disguised, in full force, and maybe even stronger. And so there was a movement to hurriedly unite the continent so that we could resist the second coming as one people, as a one force, because individually it will be nearly impossible. We were not too strong enough individually. Kwame Nkrumah actually was pushing it. I mean, he didn't even want people to start enjoying the pegs of power before this unity thing happened. But I think people didn't understand why he was rushing. And as predicted, folks, they came back. not as colonial masters, but as developmental partners. Oh, yes. And if you look at the development around us, you can tell what sort of partners we had in development. And anyone who dared, folks, anyone who dares to stand them back in the day, even today, folks, was ousted or killed. Any leader who seemed to want true development, any leader who seemed to want to own their economy, and who seemed to lean towards Russia or the East, was seen as an enemy. Lots of leaders, folks, lots of leaders. After this era, when the likes of Nkrumah and Lumumba were all wiped away, the leaders who came after just became agents of the West. Yes, sir, master, 3 bags full. And so they were allowed to stay in power. They were given high interest loans, enough to keep you going, but you didn't have a strong enough economy to pay back such high interest. The countries were forever in debt. IMF and the World Bank will come in and in turn run these countries with crippling sanctions. Sometimes they will take over strategic sectors or resources. So true progress and development are really slow, if not retrogressive. Folks, there are some basic things that you go back in the day where somebody could be in Kokrantumi and make a phone call to Accra on a landline, and fast forward 60 years ago, and this is like, a marvel. So Kokrantumi or the landline be friend cry doesn't even happen. So if I say somehow it's even retrogressive. Folks, sometimes a great percentage of your GDP doesn't even belong to you, doesn't belong to the country. A good part of the economy of the countries belong to people outside. And yet still, when you calculate your GDP, you add it in there and say, oh yeah, we are worth this amount. But if you were to break it down and say how much of this amount belongs to your indigents, that's when you realize that, hold on. We have harvested the corn, but lots of the bags are not for us. Not for us. And yet still, we were growing canines and big teeth to grind on corn that people owned. Folks, if you listen to progressives, if you listen to discerning conversations about Africa, and you can feel the frustrations and the emotions as to why we can't simply turn the corner, why we can't simply just plant an onion and wait 2 months to take it out, why we can't just put tomato seedlings and wait for 3 months to harvest it, why we can't just hatch an egg and grow a chicken. Some of the things are not rocket science. Why can't you just hatch an egg and give it corn and give it 6 weeks to grow and then you kill it and eat it? And so simply people are frustrated. Why can't we turn the corner on the basics? And we are so hungry for common sense to prevail. We are begging that people at the helms of our affairs just do correct prioritization. Folks, we hear of leaders who borrow money to buy a luxury jet, fly to the west or the east, park the plane there, paying charges, check into top 5-star hotels in these countries with a large entourage. And then they go and beg for money. Very sad and very frustrating. And you hear the commentary that, you had the money. You already had the money, but you bought a plane. You had the money, but you're paying for hotel bills, and you're there, something that you could have sent just one emissary to board a flight to go and talk about. The whole plane load will go. Per diems and everything, just to beg for money. And you feel the pain and the frustration. But then that's democracy. You vote and give power to somebody and sit and wait for the next 4 years. That's democracy. You're free to complain about it. You're free to shout, demonstrate about it. But usukrana meye. That's democracy. Usukrana meye. You said yours, and I'm also going to say mine. September 30th, 2022. Folks, Captain Ibrahim Traoré takes over power in Burkina Faso. At 34, he was the youngest, leader of the countries in the world, all the world. Youngest leader. And this young man severs the umbilical cord of Burkina Faso from France. What a frightening and brave move at the same time. Decides to cut ties with his colonial boss. Folks, many were worried. How are we going to survive? We've depended on these people for all these years. Be it slow development or no development, Joe, they were there. The typical Stockholm syndrome that has plagued many African countries. The fear of the unknown. Let's stick to it like that. They don't like us, they don't treat us well, but Charlie, let's just stick to it. At worst come, they will give us a high interest loan and we'll just keep plodding along. This guy says no. But this captain, folks, stood his ground. And in this very short time, 2022, we are in 2025, he has implemented many positive policies, applied so much common sense. Tighten your belt from top to bottom. Build factories, strategic factories, constructed roads. Folks, since 60 years ago till now, we're told Burkina Faso's got like 3,500 paved roads. And within the 3 years, or nearly 3 years that the captain has been in power, he has matched and exceeded the number of paved roads. So then the people are asking, what do we do with this democracy? What are we going to do with this democracy? This is a hard choice to make. Built factories, constructed roads, declared free education till university. Folks, somehow he has awoken the black solidarity across the globe. The whole globe. The whole globe, folks. Demonstrations and social media messages and groups. Everybody's up. Folks, the last time I saw such support was during the Free Mandela era. Oh yes, Free Mandela. But then one will argue that that was apartheid. And apartheid was like in your face human right, problem. And therefore there were people who, even though were not blacks, could not be associated with such evil. That was Free Mandela. I spoke to Prof. Kwesi Yenin, and he thinks that, look, if there had been social media in the days of Thomas Sankara, he may have had the same wave of support. Because indeed, Traoré is an extension of Sankara. But the world is behind Traoré, not the West. And the message is clear. Don't touch Traoré. Folks, so far there's been 21 attempts on his life in one way or the other. 21. At all costs, this guy should not stay. Because we can't get our free gold, we can't get our free resources, we can't tax you, get you your loans with knee-breaking interest on it. Okay. So my question, folks, probably your question too, is to the rest of the African leaders. Should there be an attempt on your life, folks? Have you worked good enough? And will the black race stand up for you like they're doing now? If not, then you have to check yourself. Because now we see Tuari as the black man being able to take control of his own affairs, just like Nkrumah says, that if you give the black man a chance, he would take control of his own affairs. But this guy wasn't even given the chance. He took his chance and is taking control. And this is very uncomfortable for France and the West. Because, folks, kwasienity na agrogu. Oh yes, kwasienity pe agronagu. And it looks like agronigu. Burkina is not going for Western loans and yet is progressing very fast. The masses who have been made to believe in democracy are seriously questioning that after all these years, what did this conventional democracy do for us? Do we need this 4-year voting culture? Or do we need developments? Do we need jobs? Do we need human rights and human dignity where people get a good, honest job, get a good, honest wage, and come home and feel good? Or do we need entrenched, divisive, overly competitive political parties who place party interest over country? Folks, do we need this monetization, this millionization of politics? The millionization of politics. They're asking themselves, is this what we need? Just to say that we're democratic? The youth are beginning to shift the idea. They're beginning to shift. And the idea of military rule is becoming sexy amongst the youth. They are now looking through and thinking, oh no, these adults who took over in the beginning, they just messed us up. And so this same youth that sometimes we chastise and worry about them and complain that they are not coming up to the game, folks, they are rising to the occasion. Folks, they are rising to the occasion. Because they're saying they need human rights and development. However you provide it, they don't care. Whether you're a soldier, police, a pastor, a catechist, a cardinal, they need their human rights, human dignity, and they need development. However you provide it, they are good to go. So currently, folks, the man of the moment is Captain Tuari. And many African countries are wishing their leaders will emulate him. My question is, what do you think? In the 0302 216 541. It's 0302 216 541. See, I'm saying the number too fast. So 003 221 6541. Nana Kwesi is on the line, and hello.
Nana Ansah Kwao. Oh, and they don't want. See, I have to move home. But my friend. You know, this is what we've been preaching on this show for God knows how long. Common sense and wisdom. And I'm reading, and you see the rules that Burkina Faso inherited from their colonial masters to date is still the same thing. How? And a gentleman just takes over. It's not even 40. And the roads that they are constructing, you're not giving contract to any contractor. You're training the youth of that country, you know. They've trained them in operating these machines. And they are doing the thing and Mama, the beginning see any power. Nakupuma yen na anything na yen you see NDA. Who born dog? Say you use 50 million plus of cities say would go to gata na gata na ebe corner 30 and say. This won't happen under Ibrahim. Nana Ansah Kwao. See, it is possible. Our people, our leaders, they are not doing it because they don't want to. And we are hiding, they are hiding behind constitution. Constitution, I ask myself, so the constitution, was it made for us or we were made for the constitution? And we are going forward and we are telling you that no, we have a constitution that is enabling a lot of nonsense and we need to change. And when we say it, we keep voting for people who we are hoping that they will change it, you know. They don't see anything wrong with it. And every 4 years we kill. Look at Burkina Faso. Nana. And that aspect that in our consideration, you have to be a certain age before you can start for president. That is we have to scrap it. Because wisdom and competence, you know, any pension for quality. Nana, see, today, I don't know what to say. I'm really okay for so. And see, these African leaders, I'm also reading that Cote d'Ivoire is giving these foreigners land to come and start camp to attack Burkina Faso. They should be careful. If they will not do their country well, and somebody is doing their country well, they should mind their effing business. Cote d'Ivoire, mind your business. If you are okay with colonial masters, fine. You know any problem. Period. Nana, period. The gentleman is not 40 years. Check, Nana, this one is a rocket science. It's a rocket science. Must you have PhD to do this? You are grooming your own people. Bagana here. Are they a turn one CD? The development contract, political cabal, near your contract, near the contractor. Are they a turn one CD? No, you are turn 50 Ghana cities near the contract. In a year, look at Ibrahim. Nana, oh, see, me near you, Mr. Ghana. It's when near Jamobi, Burkina Faso. Can you imagine?
Let me go.
Nana.
Tamalina.
Oh, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, my brother Imoro Al Hassan is in Tamale.
Wa alaikum salam, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Nana, your topic is very interesting, complex and difficult to deal with. Because some of us think that the best way for now is for us to get a different democracy for our country. The democracy that has been given to us, for some of us, is not in our status. We are just copying the developed world blindly and want to do exactly what they do. But I think that we could reorganize our beautifully to see that situation. But the beneficiaries for now, how do we convince them and how do we get it into the constitution? Because whatever we do, they will be leading it and they will make sure they will never kick themselves out. For example, why do we cap the presidency and uncap the parliamentary? It is a disaster. We shouldn't cap the presidency who came up with the idea that it should be only 2 terms? Because when you do that, you have already created a perception in the winning team that let's try and behave well in our first 4 years. We'll come back second term and we'll rob them. And that is what happened in the whole of Africa. Except because they are preconditioned that we live in power. Whether their power is in power or not, those governments, even if a new president comes in their own party, they will not be there again. They may consider new people. So they will not try to behave well. So we have to uncap it first and make it open. Your performance will let you continue being in power. That is one. Secondly, Nana, Parliament is not good for Ghana. Let's scrap it. They are wasting our money. See, Nana, the primaries until they are elected into power in the running of Parliament is too expensive. And what do? They are just doing nothing apart from drinking coffee and corrupting the system. Corruption perception index. Look at where they are only occupying. What do they do? The functions they play, I believe very well that all the first channels to Parliament can be given to the Chief Executive Officer to run the districts. And then the laws will be passed by the judiciary. The laws that the president says, the judiciary can look at them, give them and go ahead to take or not to take. After all, most of them are about law. So these are the two things I think for now. When we do, we can streamline ourselves. But we are looking at other nations and thinking that no, the democracy cannot be different. Who tells you that? Somebody came out with this idea. We can model our own to suit our situation. We are voting people who are already made it. They are rich. If they are not rich, they become a parliamentarian. We give them power to overpower us again. It is not necessary. Thank you, Nana.
Thank you very much, my brother. Let me go to Pram because Shem and Asantua is there. Hello, Shem.
Hey, Nana.
Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
Charlie Yami Adum, but 2.5 years, the speed with which Ibrahim has moved, cut himself from France, and proven that it's possible. I mean, that's shocked the world.
Nana, I've always said this. The word impossible by itself suggests impossible. That is not to go for President Bamia. No, at all. This man has demonstrated to the whole continent and to the whole world that yes, it's possible. Yes, we can. And now why? You see, he's the type of leader where being mediocre is not in the dictionary. Being myopic is not in the dictionary. He will do what practically needs to be done. And he used $12 million to build a tomato factory. We used $15 million to dig a hole. And can you just understand it? And we were even going to build a cathedral. Somewhere, when the Ghanaians say that we lack places to pray to our God. You see, these are some of the things where it seems like democracy has failed us, and yet it would only take some of these military things to happen. But Ghanaians should not wait for that. Because in Ghana, if it happens, we know where all of the military appointments are already headed. And if you study, anytime a coup happens, it is not a senior officer. It's a junior officer who is able to carry it forward. So yes, we would want that kind of change in Ghana. But at least we know we go to the polls every year. We should put the right people there who will do some of these things for us. We're in a country where Commander Sugar Factory was built. Sugarcane takes, I think, less than 6 months to grow. We didn't even go 1 acre, not even 1 plot of sugarcane to help that factory to produce sugar. Because of what? Somebody has gone to sign a certain contract, and that person will earn a certain amount. Maybe I'll give you $2 million, $3 million or something for your family. But then the thing that will liberate the whole Ghana, so as we will not import sugar anymore, we will stop it. It's the greed. It's only greed that lets our leaders sit down and sign contracts that doesn't benefit the Ghanaian. I don't think guarantee should be a problem, number one. Why do we know that we sit on gold and then the government doesn't build a certain government when they go to gold? I will bring all you small scale mining people under me now regulate you. No foreigner has the right to mine gold anymore. I'll mine it myself. The moment you start doing this, that's where the West shakes. Because these are the things they use to control us. They take you from you and then they offer you back to you and tell you, I'll give you this amount of money. And that money they're even giving, they print it, Nana. They print it. Paper currency. No, print it. No, but Joe. Oh, natural resources form. You see, this is an awakening. It's already been there. Kwame Nkrumah, you said the Thomas Sankara, them, all of them, Patrice Lumumba, all of them. But we can all see calculated attempts of how they were taken away. But we will not allow them to take away Ibrahim. We will not. We should not. We would resist it. I heard the last time Obama apologized or something. I don't know how true it is. Today, when you see some of these news, you need to fact check it. The killing of Gaddafi and so. Look at what has happened to Libya today. Just because they were liberated, a country that had no debt. Now, no one they go because of money or resources. Now, who was now? Why do you even have to tax the citizenry? God has given you all these things. Use it to benefit them. Give them water, give them electricity, give them factories. That's industrialized. Now, the word to use is not even developed, though. It's industrialization. That's what we need to do. And then we keep our continent going, we keep ourselves going. We can cut ourselves from the West. Occasionally, those of you who are accustomed to go there, go and have holidays, you can. But some of us, before your GD, or work. And I thank you very much for the topic.
Thank you very much. Kwame is in Community 24. Hello, Kwame.
Nana,
let me hear your thoughts on this issue.
My brother, are you home?
Mm-hmm.
So, what is independence in a way? How do we explain independence? How are we making ourselves a mockery? We have so many PhD holders. And mostly that's the reason I stopped going to school. I don't need PhD. Because it seems like we can't even think. What is happening in Burkina Faso? We are all watching it. We are looking at it. We are commenting about it. I'm not a prophet of doom. The possibility of it happening. Gaddafi, the same thing. Oh, nobody can do anything. The African Union was sitting down, and it happened. Ivory Coast, a president was supposed to go for 2 terms according to the constitution. And unfortunately, the person who was going to run for the presidency in the party died. Immediately, you have to change the constitution for Ouattara to go for a 3rd term. Is that democracy? And that man has the audacity to threaten somebody. My brother.
Thank you very much. Let me go to Cape Coast and speak to Abusa Jackson. Hello, my brother.
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
I hope you are doing well.
I'm very well, my brother.
We thank God for your life. Madam, Nana, the guy is doing well. That guy at the Burkina Faso, at the age of 30. And you yourself, you mentioned the things he is doing. How? We need those leaders in Africa countries. And I think the rest of the Africa leaders have to support him and protect him. Protect him heavily. And I see our country, see Ghana here, see our railway, all spoiled, see our road. Imagine every region get a railway to Accra. I think I can be in Accra, coming to work at Cape Coast and close and go back. But who is thinking about this? May God have mercy on this nation. Thank you.
Amen. Let me go to Community 9 and Ajiman Joseph.
And I thank God for picking you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank God for tuning in all the time.
And when somebody in governance is going to buy something like aircraft for the country, it's not about whether it will help us or not, but what comes into place of a pocket is the main idea. That's why when I appoint somebody to be a minister, I'll put a person on a certain board and it is hallelujah for him or her. And now what is happening in our Ghana here with this NPP, NDC, they will do whatever they like. The democracy will give us the voice, but we can voice out, but what can happen to you? You are coming up with a good idea, but you will decide to take it or not. We have the military in the country who don't support what is happening. But it looks like Ghanaians now we are out of military regime, so we don't want to go back. And for me, I think military should come into being so that a lot of nonsense will stop. But I think the Ivory Coast president, the captain, should be very cautious because what implementation that Gaddafi put across, which was helping his country, the Western world kicked against him and they eliminated him because the Western world is supporting the corrupt practices of our leaders. So for me, I think we need a military rule. God bless you, Nana.
God bless you too. See, sometimes I don't know whether we necessarily need somebody in camouflage or you just need somebody to be fair, regardless of who it is. Because, I mean, with the constitution that we have, I mean, the president has more powers than all the army put together. I mean, the president has lots of powers. And so the president can put his foot down. And indeed, I mean, this evening, he had reports, giving his appointees ultimatums to, declare your assets or you are out. And you could tell that people are happy with such firmness. So basically, I think anytime we call for coup or we call for military, what we are calling for is firmness. And we don't care who, how they are dressed, whether camouflage or whether they are in Batakari, but if they are firm, I think that's what we are calling for. But let me hear what Abu Mohammed is saying in Japan. Hello, Abu.
Hello,
Yes, my brother.
Yes. Remember, on this very show, I think about 2 years ago, I said I would prefer the military to take over and sanitize the system, if you remember. And you told me I'm going for the extreme. Now you see what the guy is doing. Last week, during news, 12 o'clock, on 2 occasions, I think they said the survey was done. And then I think 51% of the populace would want a military regime. So how does the politician feel about that? If 51% of the people want a military takeover, how does the politician feel about that? So I want John Mahama to take advantage of this and then change the constitution so that he should stay for some time to sanitize the system. Togo, they don't vote. They don't vote. They don't care. Go every 4 days to go and vote. So they have a free port. People go there. So the Mahama should take advantage of this. Change the constitution. That has not helped us for so many things. All it does is to help the corrupt people use some technicalities, some law, some politicians go, even families property that politicians you want to. You go and put families here together just because you want some property. And you say this is a democracy. So I'm very happy that those who clap for Traore, when he came to greet John Mahama, then he had pistol on his shoulder. I mean, those same people, the people who voted for John Mahama. So I think John Mahama should do that. That will help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's a big ask. But Nana is in Medina. Nana, let me hear you.
Nana,
yes, sir.
There's no way we are going to get any feminist if our presidents are being elected on party grounds. No, there's no way. Because look, they are in power and already they are looking at the next election. They have to do things to please their people, so the people will vote for them. Not the whole Ghana, but please their people. So how do we get feminists? Yes, let's say John Mahama. Yes, John Mahama is a great president right now. See, you just said that he's giving ultimatum. It's not enough. No, we are in this country. And we have these military people operation, they fighting Galamsey or something. Goes into a town. And then NDC, whatever, says that they didn't inform him. They didn't inform him before coming to the Galamsey side. And so he won't allow them. Can you imagine? What did President Mahama say about this? He is the president. He is the leader of the party. What did he say about that? Nana, because if I'm President Mahama,
The moment I heard this and he was talking there, whether DCU or MCU or blah 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 blah, quickly, I'm making it public. Matter, nobody, whatever precautions, let's prosecute that person. That is the feminist we are talking about. Are we going to get us in NDC? Are we going to get us in NCP? This Ghana for NDC NCP. Are we going to get that from any of them? It will never happen. Nkrumah was there. Fine gentleman. Had a vision. Yes, he wasn't perfect, but we saw the direction. Look at that time, Nana. That time, look at Papa. But yes, they look at the vision. Nkrumah, look at the vision. All I say, Anna, before now. Look at Gaddafi. He had vision. He has purpose. Look at what happened to him. So we, the black people, now we are our own problem. Nana, we are our own problem. Because the white man has shown you time and again, and you know, the few people that usually vote for them, almost they have taken advantage of the whole thing and they are messing the majority up. It is there for all of us to see. Yet the people of this country say, oh, we do election, they've forgotten, they've not seen it. And they go and vote again, they queue in line. People will die every 4 years. Meanwhile, the country is growing at a pace, it's even growing slower than the pace of the tortoise. How many years is Ibrahim in power, Nana? I'm reading and he's used $12 million to build a good functioning processing tomatoes factory. One issue, one F. Nana. Let's point one that is in function right now. Is it not my tax? Is it not your tax? We will finish and come back and say that we don't have money. Look at what is happening at this season. 1,000 plus containers that is like building. You see, I of ports. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this another story? Now, Ibrahim, your president, or the Kawhi John and say, ECG. Yes, ECG. Now, we see the tariffs, the tariffs have increased because they say ECG Boka. That same company, you see 12,000 plus containers. That company, you see a taxi, a DM because some Boka. Can you imagine? Now, Ibrahim, your president, because I say more best also. Yakoka yesterday. Who said the military man cannot develop a country? He's showing us that it is possible. If the constitution, see, it's not as if so. Obedience will be a fan with this rule. Constitution in the system say the young papa you make chegu, the papa let's adhere to it strictly. If you do what you are not supposed to do, we prosecute you quick. But Ghana in this country, what are we talking about?
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you to my international producers, Maribel, Oliver, the legendary Ziggy. Today, Ziggy will be on the ones and twos, playing us some gospel tunes while we seek and pray for our own Tuareg. While we pray for our own Tuareg. James Aveji will be giving you your news bulletin. Don't touch that dial. As for me, next Monday, God willing, we'll be back to do this all over again. Stay tuned. Ziggy is up next.